Hey, John Keenan here, just talking about the Locrian Scale today. This should actually say B Locrian Scale because that's what it is. It's a B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. It's going to sound like this. That's based on a diminished chord. I'm basing this on the B diminished chord. The B diminished chord is any diminished chord is very rare. You're really not going to hear it in popular music. You might hear it in some old time jazz or some jazz, but there's not even really a proper way to play a diminished chord on the 6 strings of the guitar. You kind of got to piece it out. It's really hard to get your finger. I think you can if you add a 7th. This doesn't really matter, but I'm up for the challenge here. There's one, and I'm using an open string, and I added a 7th, a flat 7th. But that is so uncomfortable and so useless to me. I'll never use it. I know some classical artists that might, but not me. So if I were to do this on the keyboard, there's my B, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. If I were going to play a B major scale, it would sound like this. But I'm going to lower all those black notes down to these white notes, and it's going to sound like this. So the Locrian Scale, I couldn't find anything in popular music. I found some psychedelic segments and some like old Rolling Stones and some Deep Purple, but I couldn't really find anything consistently Locrian with a beat and lyrics. It's just, there's no reason to do it. But you're going to hear that kind of stuff in music scores or classical scores, so I just scored my own little thing. It's really just a jam, but it's in B Locrian. This is how it would sound. Okay, so that wasn't much. As you can see, it never really lands anywhere. It just kind of floats. A kind of cool thing I noticed, and I noticed this a long time ago, but I got reminded of, is let's say you're in the key of C major, you would use that diminished chord maybe to land on a C. So if you're going to play something like, let's say you're ending a song and you're going to play a diminished to a major, you're going to play a diminished B to a major C, and resolve, right? So that diminished B it can be looked at, you could look at it and say, hey, that's a G7th. You're just not playing the root note of G. this is a G seventh, a G dominant seventh to a C. Now here's a B diminished to a C. Okay, so they both resolve and they both sound, the only difference is I move the bass note. So this, what am I doing here? This B diminished. If I just move the bass to G, you get that very Bach sounding, classical sound resolve. And the reason that is more common than the diminished to the C is because back in those days, and we don't really do it now, but back in those days they avoided parallel fifths. So to avoid a parallel fifth, you could change that diminished to a G dominant seventh, and just shift things around in the beautiful way that these white keys display. So that's it. That's all I got to say about Locrian. And that's gonna finish it up. I'm gonna do like one more wrap-up video, but that's the last of the 7 chapters on all this. So I hope you've learned something, or I hope you at least saw a different perspective on something you already knew, or something. All right? Have a great day. Peace.